Alright, so I'm going to do a really quick trade review on this position I took on ticker ADIL on the 29th of September. The reason why I want to do a quick review is because I really messed up my execution and it did not go according to the plan that I had laid out. So I'm going to go through a quick 5-minute review and then hopefully I can go back and watch this video and learn some things to not do in the future. So I'm going to go through 5 quick sections, some setup and thoughts I had for this trade, the criteria I had laid out for it, my entries, my exits, and then finally some areas of improvement that I can hopefully go back and take a look at later on so I can avoid them. So here I have the 1-minute chart of ADIL on this day, and these little red arrows are my entries and exits over here. So first things first, the setup that I was looking for on here was an ABCD setup. So we had this morning push right here, and then it came down, consolidated around this 1.75 level most of the day. So at this point I was watching it for some kind of push upward and then maybe sit a little bit higher, then that might indicate another upwards push, which it did. So the setup worked out exactly as I was looking for. I had a little push up here to $2, came back down and kind of sat at the 180s. And for my entries, I really like drawing just a simple downward trend line from the A point to the middle of the two lows. So we had to push and then come back to a higher low. This first little arrow right here was my entry. So the entry was good. I was sized to the right risk. I was happy. And I was watching it just sit, and my risk level for this trade I think was 183 down here. So if it got down to that area, I was ready to cut it. So nothing wrong with it. And I had this push up into VWAP. And these next 3 arrows right here were me taking some size off, because usually I like to take size off the initial push and leave a trailer on, and then when it dips down and holds trend, I'll add back up to my full risk and then let the rest of it sit. So far this trade was going well up to this point at around 220. And I remember, so my entries here were good. The next part, that my exits were pretty bad. I remember this arrow right here was me taking off the whole position because for some reason I was scared it was going to go. I was in the green on the position and I was scared it was going to go negative, so I sold it at 196, thinking that it was just going to get completely rejected. And at that point, my whole game plan was derailed. And what I should have been doing was adding to this position because this is just another clear higher low. So at this point, I realized that I had just derailed the plan I had for the trade. So this next arrow right here at it was 230-ish, I opened up another position, put a little bit of size on it, thinking I was going to miss out. I sat through this push, and then it came back down below VWAP, and this arrow was me getting out of the second position because I thought it had faked out again. And at this point, I was just frustrated because I had lost a little bit of money on this second one. And I took it off my screen and then just completely missed the exact move that I was looking for all the way up to 4. So pretty awfully managed trade. And for some reason, I remember myself getting so upset about missing out on the dip and derailing my game plan. And I remember looking at my P&L and thinking, I don't want to give away anything that I've made, so I just left it alone and assumed that this double top would make it fade down below VWAP, and did not pay attention to what was going on. So one big area of improvement I'm going to take from this is to not look at the P&L while I'm trading and take it off one of my screens completely, so all I can focus on is the chart. But overall, it wasn't a loss at all. I actually ended up green on the trade, but it was just frustrating to watch the plan that I have get derailed for just looking at a small P&L compared to what it could have been. But in terms of the ABCD pattern, this is one of the most textbook versions that I've seen before. The shorts that entered into this position when it just fell off a cliff here in the morning clearly just either left their positions on and went away for the day, or thought that it would fade back or fade back down. I'm sure people added into their short after it got rejected from the VWAP right here, looking for a fade. But yeah, not going to look at P&L on my screen anymore.